Welcome, welcome, welcome one and all, welcome all and one, all for one, one for all that stuff. Train is the map. I see that you're a traitor and you chose, wait, no, you chose MiBR in the first place.
Yeah.
It was just me who chose Sharks. Okay, never mind. I thought you were a traitor then, but apparently you're not today. That was unfortunate on Vertigo. It was unfortunate for Sharks in one sense, but I would suppose MiBR was supposed to win. A, because they're a much higher tier team, but also
It's unfortunate for you, James, because you picked Sharks.
Yeah, that's fine though. That's fine because I knew they were an underdog, but I wanted to root for the underdog Shark. But yeah, MiBR came into that really prepared. But that was, I think, what we can take away from that is just a form of MiBR. We saw how they utilized KNG first with the AWP. They had the double ops there when they wanted them. So it seems like they're in a good place in that map. Of course, I think it's weird with Vertigo. We've got those new updates from someone, and it's still in a situation where people are kind of getting caught off guard by people's strats and so on. So we'll see how that plays out over time. But it certainly looks promising. But we move to Train, which is going to be difficult for Sharks if MiBR starts on that CT side.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing with this series is that Sharks kind of had to win Vertigo, because if they did, there would be a chance for them to be able to win the series. If we look at, for example, MiBR's struggles on Inferno and just their general approach to Inferno, I think it's fair to say that Sharks would have had a pretty good shot at actually beating MiBR in this series had they taken at least Vertigo. But hey, they could still take Train. They could still force it to a third. They could still get that W on Inferno. We'll have to see. But I do think this will be a very difficult one for them. This is a great map in terms of MiBR's levels of comfort. So, and they've got great players for this map, James. They have just, I don't know, like, even where to begin with when it comes to the lineup of MiBR for this map. And not to mention, I feel like it's really hard to forget that like kind of iconic period where the Brazilian core with Fallen at the helm with the AWP, where they were just unbeatable on this map. That was, okay, it's 2016, but it was still a thing.
It was. Definitely was. But will it be now? We shall see.
Well, we can check the roles of the MiBR team. I mean, we've seen that they've mixed things up. Fallen is back to generally, being the main AWPer in a lot of situations now, not all of them, but maybe that dynamic will add an extra string to MiBR's bow.
Yeah, we'll soon be starting here. Again, we have those premium pass POVs. I mean, I think Fallen is like the king of Train, really, if he's on the AWP. So I think you have to pick Fallen. I wouldn't even pick anybody else at all. Just simply Fallen. I mean, it's always nice to watch a CT who has to play B solo a lot of the time to see how they choose their positions, how they choose to peek, and how the team rotate with information. But I think it's just Fallen all day for the premium pass.
I mean, going back to that 2016 Fallen of Train, it was really awesome seeing him play the CT side, playing the AWP around green and just being kind of this, just flicking between Ivy and just being able to deal with everything else from ladder and from teammate and stuff. Just having all that flexibility, because I think he was playing off of Cold, who would just kind of lock down Ivy if Fallen needed to move around. So I love that dynamic. So I hope that we see him have have the ability to play very aggressively, to have that level of freedom. At the same time, I think Fur's going to be really important, James. Like his ability of like pushing and finding the gaps, I think is going to be instrumentally important.
Yeah. I don't know what we will see from Sharks again. While they were in the online league, it's a very small sample size, so we're kind of learning as we go along with that team. I'm just I'm trying to figure out what KNG has on his wrist. The watches, ooh. Henny's got that GMT, he's got a new GMT on the Jubilee. Very hard to get without paying over for it. Very nice. GMT's good actually, because it tells you, he's got the one that actually tells you 3 time zones. I have a different one which only has 2, but he can spin the bezel on his, so he could track 3 time zones at once. I think 2 is enough. It's always nice to know like where your body thinks it is when you're in a place like Shanghai, for example. So I like having my GMT hand to tell me where things normally are. And there's the bling as well. Henny's he's just wilding out with the gold and the stainless steel. That's a pretty big deagle. I love it though. It's part of all our identities, I think. Pieces of CS:GO at this point. So that's pretty cool. Maybe one day people will have like a VR headset on a chain. Maybe they will. If you saw, like, I tweeted a few days ago, right? Apparently in this farm in Russia, they're putting VR headsets on cows because it's like the weather's crap. So they're putting the VR headsets on cows where the weather's nice. I think it's just a lie. Like, there's no way that's real because what, a cow's going to go and start eating grass in VR? No, he's not, is he? So I don't believe that at all. It's complete nonsense.
Like
as far as I'm concerned.
Just their vision that kind of lets them know what's going on.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Like, yeah, I mean, the same logic, I don't know, that it would apply to us, right? If you're experiencing jet lag, I think it's just all about vision. I think the circadian rhythm is a bit more complex than that, lads.
You make an article on some obscure website and it becomes the truth.
Yeah, non-peer-reviewed science. Let's go. Okay, so we are about to kick things off on Train. This should be a really fun one. Brazilian teams on Train, and we've got Sharks on the T side straight away. And they've got a lot of utility on J&T and Lucan. Where will they go? Lucan's been given the P250. I believe in Lucan and the P250.
I think this is a bad spot for Sharks starting on a T side. I think this is worst case scenario for them. Assuming CT sides go off as they often do. Oh, they haven't checked. Lucas will distract at the very least. Fallen will get something out of this, and he seems to be behind enemy lines. How is this real life? Exit will take him out. We've got a man advantage now, finally, for Sharks. Maybe they can have a good pistol round because there were some shockers in that game of Vertigo. Nice tap from Further, repositions as well. KNG's here, there's absolute madness. You can't come fast enough for all these frags.
Oh, that is so disgusting. What a frag from Fur, that kind of fadeaway frag. That's actually such a huge kill for him to get. And that started it. That started the fall of the dominoes. Wow, that did not look like it was going to be going MiBR's way. They were getting absolutely wrecked. Then all of a sudden the round's over and they've won. Unbelievable. 1-0, and you said it was bad that Sharks started off on the T side first. Well, they're going to start off without a bomb plan and losing the first round. So double MP9, and Fallen's going to keep the USP, which only tells us, James, that he's saving for AWP straight away.
Yes,
that's good. That's a good sign.
Get your premium pass going. The AWP is probably coming. He's expecting a lack of helmets, so that USP will have great range for the one-taps. What is annoying, Dan?
That's Lucas's Molotov missed. It was aimed to go to Olofmeister, where there is a player. It looks like it went mad. Or does it? Because look at the investment coming through. And now will be Leo Drunky taking Fur down. But looks like that's all that will happen.
Yep, Fur will be the only casualty. The AWP, the MP9 collected by Fallen, who has 4,800 in the bank. Just enough money for AWP. It does come out instantly. I love that. I eco in pistol rounds to buy AWP. I care not.
I think this is a really, really important part of MiBR's Train game, James. Fallen on the AWP. I cannot wait to see him just go off. The iconic butterfly knife as well. I feel like he really made it, popularized it the most with the AWP.
Surprise! It's the Fallen party on the B bomb site. All are invited. There's cake, there's candles.
Invited.
What else are you getting in parties?
Champagne.
Oh, nice. Champagne in goblets. Lucan eliminated. Leo Drunky may and an exit remain. A nasty surprise for them on the B bomb site. Creeping now with the Kriegs. They have a HE and one flashbang for utility. The diagnosis looks terminal in round number 3.
So that's going to be a tough one. That bomb lost. The B site has been reinforced, and no damage has been done to MiBR just yet. This incendiary just make life a little bit annoying for Sharks. They've got time, but they don't have utility. They've got a single flash. They're going to have to burst. Oh, what an awful spot to be in. It's such a terrible, terrible, terrible position to find yourself in. Your opponents know exactly what you're doing. You've got no utility. You've got no way in, but you've also got no way out. It's just really rough, isn't it?
Well, they had that one flashbang, but again, it is a death sentence. And time is running out. Exit, just staring at the walls. There we go. Fur should get there to get an upgrade. That is a very blue knife. See, I don't like those gloves. I think you should have more contrast between the two. But anyway, Fallen with the AWP straight away. Repositioning, spotting some legs. It's a great start for MiBR. Honestly, I really do think this is a a really bad spot for Sharks, starting on a T-sided train versus MiBR, who win the pistol, Fallen immediately on the AWP. I don't see much else that could go wrong for them in these 3 rounds we've seen so far, but hey, it's round number 4. We've got Desert Eagles, and they've got some utility. They could close the distance, try and cause some anarchy with these smoke grenades wherever they choose to use them. But we have aggressive plays from MiBR, who do seem to look stronger by the week, as you would expect. But that hasn't always been the case with their previous rosters.
Yeah, and Kenji can wait for an 8, or he can just go for a timing. The damage is crazy. So much damage from the AK. He's only got 1 kill, but look at the damage he's done. Oh man, he's done like 300 damage at least.
Yeah, but they're on eco, and now he's got a rifle. So they'll take that. 1 for 1. KNG going back to the world. The one thing you don't want is to give a rifle up to an ecoing opponent, but I think there were so many players that he thought he was good for a spray, and I think in a lot of cases he probably gets a spray down there, but I mean the man's normally got the AWP, so I can forgive him. It is good damage. They will be paper thin to these bullets. There's no Kevlar. They have a minute on the clock though to try and find some kind of opening. Some dancing on the ladder, risks being taken to see if they can make their way down. An exit has. They still have 4 smoke grenades, but they need to get into position to throw them. Now, of course, from above ladder, you can throw them through the glass. Taco re-aggresses. Perfect timing from him. Some information seeking. He will spot the bomb on Mayan as well. So, yes, it could go ladder. It could go B, but it's not really going anywhere else. Let's not forget, Sharks need to die in this round. Maybe Mayan holds on if he's got the money. Never mind. His hands will release the weapon. 13 seconds. Now, J&T, again, he needs to die. Even if they spot him. There we go. Fair will finish off the job. 4-0 for MiBR.
Yeah, it's looking really smooth so far. And I'm liking that we see Fallen around that green train, James, with the AWP. I'm just like really excited to see what we're going to get from Fallen. Because one of the things that makes him so strong is that, one, his movement is incredible. And around the ladders and around the trains, that's really important. But also, that A bomb site is extremely chaotic. And he is a battle sniper like no other. So we know what his ceiling looks like. And we want to see it. Double AWP is being collected though, KNG on the second one, and that's going to surely make life even more difficult. KNG with a very strong angle here is looking to commit. The flashback's perfect though, and KNG's out there in the middle of nowhere. Lucas does find the trade, but he's now going to have to try to back away. He's got no support out here. He will get traded by the bomb train, is eliminated as well. Fallen now in the 1 versus 2. Is going to have Taco to help him out, but they are disconnected. Taco's got to be careful. He's got a smoke to help them combine their forces.
They know Fallen was near the IV position. Taco in connector will invite a rotation, but the awareness from Taco is fantastic. J&T on the rotation now. Surely exit will start to be heard soon. He's making a lot of steps, and Taco's got an off angle. It's all but guaranteed a frag, and that's the bomb. That is a complete mess. Just not expecting MiBR to be that aware. There's 1 minute on the clock now for J&T as he moves around, but Taco has the sound cues. He's heard the scope. All he needs to do is play for the bomb plant, allow Fallen to rotate in. He knows the bomb's by the ladder, so it's not of too much concern. Fallen lining up now for that final kill. Sharks perhaps, and this is where like the numbers and experience comes into play. Sharks aren't playing this level of opponent as much as MiBR do, so they might get caught off guard by those kind of rotations from MiBR.
Yeah, absolutely agree. What a masterstroke by Taco, and there it is, a clean 5-0. The money's growing well enough. It's not outrageous, but it is some security for MiBR. Up against the pistols now, Mayan on a Mac 10. Looking to go fast, I would imagine here, Sharks. Try to use the numbers. They will certainly need to overwhelm their opponents. And there's 4 players towards A for MiBR, so they have more than enough firepower in one place to deal with this. How are they going to find their way in? Fallen has been caught out there a little bit. When he went for the peek, there's a player a lot further forward than he expected. But KNG, there's a second AWP. He's on the side there to cover.
Oh, we've seen a few missed Molotovs hitting these corners. Leo Drunky creeping, but there's a 180. Stereo sniper frag from MiBR. Sharks trying to do what they can in a very ill-equipped situation. There's a huge flashbang and Lucas will get taken out. So maybe there's a chance. I don't think Lucas has been spotted recently, but the bomb is lost. So I think the chance is mostly damage. But it's a 2 versus 3 with 1 rifle with 1 minute on the clock. So there's a small percentage chance for more. They've really got to be careful with the sound cues, though, and they will do that. I think Fallen is scoped in already in position, so they'll have no idea. He's a very good example, let's say, on Mirage. Going into Palace, he will scope in early so as to reveal his position, rather than go deep in Palace and then scope in. It'll be heard this time, but it won't matter. 6-0 for MiBR. Sharks are not finding a way into this A bomb site, figuratively and often literally.
And I think what is left for them to do in this situation is go for a fast set piece, see if that works out. I think that might be the next maneuver here, because they know that MiBR is playing double orbs. So the problem is, if you play slow, you give the orbs a chance to catch you off guard. Maybe it's KNG who peeks upper on B, or maybe it's Fallen going for a play on Ivy, or there's all manner of plays that they can make with the orbs. I think you want to just shut that down and just try to take initiative here. JNT's picked himself up an AWP, and speaking of KNG peeking upper with his, JNT's ready for it this time. However, will KNG go for it? Dry. That's the question. He's going to react off the flashbang. Oh, no. Okay, Exit will cover. But KNG was waiting for that flashbang, James. That was his cue to peek. This time, it's no good, though.
Two MiBR players in towards B. Taco gets his bell rung through the wall, as we spoke about on a previous train. Plenty of Molotovs. You can see the CTs trying to figure out where they can actually stand, although Fallen will go shotgun mode on the bomb site, falling back to oil now. Falling all the way back, using the range, giving himself as much cover as possible, trying to avoid the trade frag. Taco, I don't think he's sort of player above. Fur will keep the numbers even. 3 versus 2, and now it's 2 on 2 as I say that. We've got a long flank from Lucas, so Fallen's alone on the bomb site. Lucas starting to creep up. Sharks will be aware that they don't know where Lucas is. They haven't seen him for a while. He'll be looked for by Exit, while JNT will be stuck on the site. He has no idea where Fallen is scoping in from. He'll switch out for a Krieg, which may be a help. See how patient Fallen can be. I think JNT is able to escape to the side at the very least. Fallen up top, though, is very hard to defeat. He's 12 for 1 at the moment. Lucas has been so patient with this rotation, as MiBR often are on the retakes. They often give you a masterclass on timing and pacing on these retakes in the more brittle positions, and there's an example from Lucas playing off of Fallen after that kill. Plenty of time to defuse the bomb as well, and that is a 7-0 now for MiBR. Mayan, the superstar, 1 for 7.
Fallen is bloody good, isn't he? I feel like, so from the crazy, it's just so crazy the flicks that Fallen is able to pull off. I feel like there's just this thing, we've seen it a couple times already, where we're spectating a player that's about to attack Fallen, and then you're like, yeah, this guy's got Fallen dead to rights. Then suddenly Fallen has like this huge swing of the barrel and does a 180 or a 90 degrees turn in minimal time and just kills that player. And I feel like that I've seen that so many times from Fallen. He's really delivering so far. 7-0 for MiBR. Fallen's 12 for 1 with the AWP. It's a bad look here for Sharks, James. They can't quite seem to solve MiBR, because even when they get a good start, the clutch factor of MiBR, the AWP factor, kicks in and takes over the map.
The Fallen factor. I don't feel like they need to go much deeper than that at the moment, and that is pretty special. Indeed, he is that unicorn on train. Loves himself some train Fallen. Very fun to watch the POV of. We see the odds now for Sharks, and it's KNG to get started. The CTs always get to that angle first, faster than the Ts. 2 AWPs now for MiBR. Got players going up the ladder, I think, for having a cheeky look. That could not be more in JNT's face. That's that flashbang. He just saw it and then it exploded into white right in front of his eyes.
Lovely stuff for MiBR once again, starting off with that advantage. These AWPs, James, they've been massively valuable. It really seems to be this unanswerable issue.
Sharks taking it super slow. Not venturing into any choke points right now beyond the pick we saw earlier onto Lucan. How do you get onto the bomb site? Doesn't feel like they have often. Oh boy, well at least Leo Drunky could see something. We're seeing great timing from MiBR. Sharks seem to be like eating everything. All the pop flashes, the Fallen plays, the re-peeks, the re-aggressions. Hello, there's scope that lightning up for him as well, but he doesn't manage to hit either of them. But that's half the information he's seen. They haven't seen the bomb, but Fur can try to help out. They line up for Fur as well. At least Mayan with the bomb now in a 1 versus 3. Just now, this is pretty much the first choke point they've successfully got through, if you can really even consider it that, since it doesn't go beyond the choke point itself. 8-0 for MiBR. This looks hopeless for Sharks. And I thought it would be starting on the T side. I think they really had to build on the CT side first, have the easier time of things being in the choke points. Even through his teammates, still manages to get a clean kill.
Yeah. Great action from Fer here. Just so ready for everything. Okay, 8-0, back on the pistols now, Sharks. Couple CZs, couple Deagles, they're going fast. Let's see if going fast works out. It does work out in terms of getting the kill on at least the E-Box player, Lucas. But there are the Orbs, and there is Fer with the rifle, who has been indomitable with the M4 so far. Oh, flick miss, but again, Fer picks up the pieces. If an AWPer misses the shot or is in trouble, Fer just delivers so far. Ooh.
Okay, well, can Leo Drunky actually reach a weapon? He doesn't know where the last two are, which is a huge problem. The bomb's in a very exposed position. He's looking for the rifles on the floor, but... Oh, there we go. The flank is on the way now from Fallen with that P250. Does Leo get to sandwich in time? That would be something. He has. Not been spotted just yet. Up ladder, down the ladder. And Fallen will scope. 9-0 to MiBR.
Yeah, they're looking so damn good. It's enjoyable to watch in terms of... I like seeing the MiBR guys succeed or get to kind of play their game. But at this point, obviously, Sharks are not providing any level of resistance. And I think, again, they just need to try at least one round going fast outside. I think at least one round with some nades and just trying to cut off the vision of the AWPs with the smokes, gain forward ground before the smokes go away, and then deal with the AWPs when you're closer range. Something like that. Might get an Ivy aggression actually from Lucas, a late one. There's a flashbang for him to peek. He sees nothing. Here we go. Leo Drunky's close to sandwich. Will he go through this? He absolutely will. The flashbang. He's annihilated Fallen. He's annihilated Fer. And that's what we're talking about. That is the kind of play we needed to see from Sharks.
Fast bomb plant. Could this be a round on the board? I'll take nothing for granted the way MiBR are. I feel like Sharks' current spot is they need more experience. So even in a 5 versus 3, not quite guaranteed just yet. Maybe it depends on the money. Reload is heard. Oh, that's awkward for Taco, but a combo might be there. It will be eventually. Exit taken out. Can't imagine they go for this though, although they are still harassing from the IV position. Trade attempted. They'll try and make it expensive. That won't work either in this round. And Taco will probably... No, it seems he will go for some exits as well. But that won't work either. So 4 players will survive for the likes of Sharks. There is money for MiBR, however, it's not spectacular. And again, we are in one of those situations where, yes, there are 9 rounds on the board for MiBR, but if their money is to disappear, then Sharks could, I mean, 6 is possible, but first they've got to go through 2 more AWPs.
Here we go, exit. We'll try to take the first pick. Ooh, it looked like there may have been a lineup potentially. Oh, hello, Taco receiving Leo Drunky happily with the M4, but he'll be forced back. And Lucas now, we can see, has position in ladder room. So MiBR looking good positionally at the moment. Sharks, it looks like they want to burst onto the inner bomb site, actually. So we'll see if that works out for them. There is only one player there at the moment. There's a rotation from KNG coming, or at least he can rotate quickly.
Interestingly, we have an Ivy push from Fallen, but MiBR are still wondering. I mean, this is somewhat unorthodox, if you will, so maybe against a different team there'd be more of a rotation towards the B bomb site, but it seems it will come in time. So Sharks are all bundled up towards B. They have no map control elsewhere, but it's still a slow round from them. And that's causing MiBR to have a second player deep into the B bomb site. So maybe Sharks might be doing themselves a disservice here. Got to wait out these smoke grenades. Mayan's in that forward position, as you can see. And here comes the deployment, the Molotov. So there'll be a 3rd man rather than just a 2nd man rotating in there, stuck in the choke point. Taco with a full continuation spray. The flames are up as well. It's a barbecue on the B bomb site. J&T in the flames as well, and he's the only man standing now. 1 versus 4. He's got so much to do again. This is such a key round for Sharks to win, but not looking likely at the moment. J&T is the man to do it, though, with the explosiveness if he has the time, but Lucas will come and put him out of his misery. 1-10 in favor of MiBR. That was the round Sharks had to win, and they failed.
Oh, no. It's gone from bad to worse in some respects with that, and Taco is really, I love how well MiBR set themselves up in this, because they figured out the push was going to come. As you said, they put the pieces together after Fallen pushes Ivy. Then Taco sees a couple players in a, he drops the smoke, the rotation from KNG, the rotation from Fur, just the setups, the way they position each other, themselves around each other is just spot on. So Sharks need, they need something more in these rounds. Taco with the cheeky HE, it's gonna miss, but that's a fun one. Man, with the forward smoke, trying to win some position on Ivy. There are 4 players on A for MiBR still, but Fallen he's given up Ivy. He's pushing towards T main. This is kind of what I was talking about. Fallen having the run of the A bomb site, he can go anywhere he wants, and his rifles just kind of fit in whatever he leaves open. And that's a fantastic shot there. Oh my god, isn't he just something? Falling back with the AWP, and he's going to get himself another kill. What do you do against that?
It's a hard thing to deal with. I feel like that needs special tactics in itself.
Yeah.
J&T froze from his position. So aware MiBR. They've just got so much experience. The higher tier, the higher level you play at, the less opportunity there is, the less you can get away with, the less mistakes you can make without being punished. And when you start playing at that level, what you think is okay might end up actually being a mistake and punishable. And maybe Sharks are realizing some of this now.
Yeah, Fallen is 15 for 2, and there's a reason why people in pros say that he is maybe the most annoying AWPer to be up against. For the positions you find him in and what he's able to output from those positions is really, truly absurd. Man has found his way out, but he's got CTs all around him. It's like Fallen's going to keep the damage going with the AWP. It's just man, he's left standing, and he's going to get taken out as well. And Fur's been incredibly good as rifle support.
I feel like I've had dreams about Fallen hopping on and off ladders with an AWP. It's just bouncing all over the place. Look at that flick. And he's so ready as well.
so crazy. Ready. He knows the trade is coming.
Up.
And this is what I'm talking about, James. Fallen is so sick at making maneuvers like that. You got to give him the freedom to do it, and that's what they've done. You can see the difference it makes. Just the fact that he can be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is really rough, man. I don't know what there is to really say for Sharks apart from they're just completely outmatched.
Yeah.
Starting on the T side, honestly, they may have just lost I think they lost this map on the knife round. And it's not often that we would say that it's over in a situation such as this, but I just don't see a way. Again, that was such a key round to break the money. If they could do that, then maybe once they get the luxury of the CT angles and the CT sides of the choke points, then they could do something just as they did on Vertigo in the second half after having a nightmare on the first. But they didn't get that round. I mean, they could still get 4 out of this, but it just doesn't look likely. They just can't deal with Fallen. He's all over the place. He's doing whatever he wants to do. We're seeing maximum Fallen on train, or maybe not even maximum. I'm not sure if he's being pushed that much. We've got a high ground advantage now for Taco as they stream into the B bomb site, so a bomb plant might not be so likely here. There's even a block on the default position. There's a lineup, and Taco will take both.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. Taco will stand to do more damage here as well. This man is the last man standing, and it's not going to happen for him. KNG discovers his position and deals with that one. 12-1 as MiBR continue the dominance. We're looking to see perhaps another extremely quick game here, James, as I don't know that there's going to be any resistance offered by the Sharks.
Lovely tap from Taco. I like playing the upper area on B on occasion, mixing it up. Well, it begins again. Can they get through the choke points? Never mind the frags. Another fast round for them. Mayan will take a bullet, but does that allow his teammates to take position? It does for a time, but again, that rifle support in Fur is good. He finds another one on the A-bomb site, and this could be brief. Leo is so blind, trying to fall back as he is hunted. The bomb has been lost. Dancing around the ladders, but Fallen will just simply stand there and wait. He's having a great time.
Yeah, he is. Man. so tough, isn't it? I'm liking Lucas's knife, by the way. That super green flip knife. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's a really nice green. It's a very expensive green as well. It's over $1,000.
Is it? I'm not surprised, actually.
It's over $1,000.
Wow.
Look how green
the
that
reveal.
is. Yeah, that's just wild how green that is.
That's beautiful.
Super nice. Can contrast that with a great many colors.
Or like green.
Do you know what? That might look okay with the green, with these green gloves. Actually, that might look quite nice. It wouldn't be a contrast, but there is some black in there, which is important.
Anyway, it's an Ivy push coming in from Lucas, speaking of the Devil. And he's got some support, but it's a bit far away. Fallen will whiff the shot. Lucas has found that information that there's a bulk of players there, which does allow his teammates to push other spots on the map. Now they spotted 4 players effectively. What do they do? MiBR down 3 against 5. This is a great chance for Sharks.
The way Fallen plays is just like endorphin city. It's so rewarding. I don't think MiBR are too concerned at the moment with this, the loss of this particular round, which is likely, although Fallen's still alive, and KNG is as well. Well, it's up to Fallen now. 1 versus 5. And that's going to be a very strong performance from MiBR. And we'll see what else can be done. I mean, I don't know what to say, really. It looks like an open and shut case, but maybe the most devastating form of open and shut case we've seen. We'll see what happens after the break.
Delve deeper into the action with the ECS Premium Pass. Never miss iconic moments with access to all 10 player POVs through the Twitch Command Center, alongside the official ECS Observer. Keep up to date with the most detailed in-game statistics. Customize everything from your crosshair to the minimap, and join forces with other viewers to show support for your favorite players through our unique clapping feature. All FACEIT TV Twitch subscribers will gain access to the ultimate viewing experience. Subscribe now for just $4.99 a month and watch ECS your way.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
All night in the moonlit sky. When the sun comes up, it's our last goodbye. Won't let go, I don't wanna leave paradise.
We're back, but are the Sharks coming back, James?
The Sharks seem to have lost their fins. That's not funny, guys. There's a documentary called Shark Water about the shark finning industry. Look it up. It's pretty messed up, man. It's gross. It's bad. It's nasty. 13-2. And that second round was maybe a gift to Sharks from MiBR. MiBR now move to the T side, so we'll see what can be done. MiBR hopping around. It's Exit's turn to play in that same position at server stack. And, oh dear, Sharks is looking rough, but it can still turn around. It is Pistol after all. It's a 2 versus 3. They're eating the flashbangs repeatedly. That's a nice shot from Lucan. He's making it winnable. He's doing even more than that now. They have the man advantage on Fallen, who has a Glock, which isn't ideal. Long-range duels for him. And there's life in the old Shark yet. Apparently they do have fins because they're still swimming.
Well, it's still going to be difficult. They only get 1 round to have continued success potentially before the pressure really comes in. I doubt we're going to see a forced buy from MiBR in this round. They did not get the bomb planted. And they don't need to rush things. They have so many rounds in advantage. there's no pressure on them to get things going quickly. So I'd imagine we'll see a very fast round here from MiBR. I think the B rush is always fun just because you can try to at least get a bomb plant quickly, and you get it over with fast if you're unsuccessful. And given the positioning, given that Lucan is actually playing the upper ground, there is a possibility they could spill into the lower site for a quick plant. But JNT's here now as well, so maybe that's the chance that a plant is dropped below 3%, James.
That's very specific, Dan, and I don't believe in your statistics. Lucan trying to go for 3 people at once, and a FAMAS will be collected. MiBR don't even need to commit in this point. They could try to reset the situation, but it seems they will go for the former. There's a transfer from JNT. Survive in the numbers they will, says Yoda, and they will move on to the next round. 4-13 for Sharks. They will not have the fast AWP that MiBR had. We've got the AKs coming out now. The AKs and the Kriegs coming up for MiBR. And this is where the nervousness begins. Well, I mean, I don't think it ever stopped, to be honest, for Sharks. As soon as that knife round was over, both CT sides winning their pistols, but can the Sharks be as consistent as MiBR were in that first half?
Yes, it is hard to say. Well, it's unlikely, I would imagine, but hey, we kind of counted them out on
You're a
Vertigo.
negative Nancy, Dan. You're a negative Nancy.
We counted them out on Vertigo, and they showed us that they had something. They got a comeback. They convinced us that it was possible, but ultimately they were denied. And again, you know, Inferno is the final map. It's a map where MiBR are struggling massively. So that would have been fantastic if Sharks would have just won one map and then be able to find their way towards that Inferno. I think they would have had a good shot at winning, but instead, they're in a really bad spot here. Now, MiBR, what's the plan? They've got the Kriegs, they've got the AKs. We might see a fairly quick round from them. Obviously, you want to, in most cases, wait out the pre-nades. As we saw, you don't want to get caught by those forward HEs and so on. Let the mollies go, let the smokes go, and you can make your forward play. Ferris lurking Ivy, whilst the rest of his team goes towards inner.
The dry peaks, I love that. Lining up to peak together. Look at the sheen of that green. Moving in now to potentially burst into the B bomb site. They are so better equipped at the moment. There's a flash. Not sure where it lands. We've got Lucan starting off the proceedings, but again, Lucas is here to trade, and JNT doesn't get the job done as Lucas comes off the ladder. Mayer now creating some space to rotate in from the connector position. A flashbang for his teammates to push from CT, and it's already looking real bad for Sharks. Man disadvantage as they move in from the back end of B.
Yeah, this is really hard. KNG's in a good position here. He'll be able to take down Leo Drunky. And that, with Leo Drunky, Sharks now have no positioning, forward positioning, and there's so many Ts here ready to fight in these long channels on the B yard. Next will try to fall back and away now, try to save what he has. But it looks like save will not be possible. First shuts it down. 2 kills for Third, 2 kills for Lucas. Great entries from them, especially Lucas. It really didn't seem like it was supposed to be possible that he gets that kill off the ladder, but he did. And he bests JNT, and here it is. First kill, here's the drop. And that's, yeah, you really need JNT to be finding that one. And then from there, the rest of the round was easy to close out.
Yeah, that might be the curtain call for Sharks. They've got another buy, which is kind of terrible. Orgs, MP9 and so on. I think they need to be able to do an aggressive play here, but like into A main or something. There's flashbangs at the very least, and KNG will be denied. Wonder what the intention was for Sharks, feeling the urgency towards the A bomb site, but the bomb heads towards B. I think Lucan was spotted, I don't know. Another surge play. Lucan with a very important headshot though. Lucas looking for something cheeky, but they've been forced away from the choke point MiBR. So again, there's still a little divot in the lifeline for Sharks. There's still a beep. They're still alive.
But what to do? Oh, coming out of ladder. I don't know if Main spotted that. It could get caught from E-box. We'll see. There's a play. Oh man, Fallen actually survives. Gets the kill. Survives with 6 HP, but the flank's coming from JNT. Now he's going to take down Fallen, who had no HP. And now Ferd can't confidently plant this bomb with no cover on the flank. And the flank upon a flank. That's how Lucas is left in the 1v3, down to 6 HP. And can't find any additional damage. Sharks hold on for now. They hold on. But for how long can they be strong? Maybe it'll be another Vertigo, James. Maybe we're going to see a run back here. I'll run it back. Buyers keep coming, though.
Yes, they do. MiBR still with a reasonable buy. It feels like they can do more with less than comparison with Sharks, which is fine. It's kind of how it should be with the different levels these teams are at the moment. Yeah, Drunky moving towards that sandwich position, a very important one. And MiBR start to swarm into the B-bomb site, A-bomb site, excuse me, or try to, but they will be shut down to start off with. Look at these frags flying in for Sharks. Looking to put MiBR finally into eco territory. A nice fast round where everyone survives. That's good for the confidence of Sharks. But there are so many tests to pass. What are they trying to qualify for? Astronauts. Got a headset coming off, maybe a tech pause. We've got a finger for the admin. Ushered with a finger. Look at that GMT. It's called the Pepsi. It's blue and red bezel. Previous one was the Batman with the blue and the black bezel.
You should start watch reviews, James.
Way too expensive.
Start reviewing watches, you'll get sent watches for free.
I sent crap watches for free. Nobody wants crap
Got to
watches.
start somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere.
Well, you can get nice watches for $100. You can also get crap watches for that. I don't want the crap watches.
You got to review everything, James. Review it and tell the people that it sucks.
I could do that. This could be done.
Yeah, I feel like there's a world where you get the watch reviews going. Well, looks like we should be going back into this soon. The unpause has commenced, and Sharks must continue in winning ways. They've got 4 of 5 rounds in this half so far, but they only got 2 rounds themselves in the first half. Only 2 rounds. That sucks. I mean, with the forward Molotov towards Olafmeister catches KNG. He is burning. He is burnt.
Oh dear.
He is dead.
Dear oh dear. Oh dear oh dear.
But it is a full save round for MiBR, so it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Everything's fine. This is as it's supposed to be. Fer is trying to extract some value from this round, but it doesn't seem like there's any value to be extracted.
Lucas slowly creeping up. Sharks trying to use the range of their weapons as best they can. Limits the variance, as everybody tries to do, or should try. I'm just looking up the ranks. Rank 14 versus rank 38 here, so Sharks making a noble effort, all things considered. Fallen is gone. Taka looking for some 1Ds. 3 Sharks players in B, although Mayan will start to rotate. I feel like there's a good future ahead for Sharks. This will be a very valuable experience, win or lose. Well, Lucas has made some inroads. He's created some space for MiBR, at the very least, and maybe pulled rotation. We're seeing an abandonment of the B bomb site. Maybe very nervous times for the likes of Sharks as Leo Drunky gets taken out by E-Box. Things going from bad to worse and just not coming from anywhere. It's all collapsing. The dream is collapsing. They make it to 7, but that was really worrying, the way that was the positions on the CTs were being found. They survived that test, but again, there are so many more. If they are to pass this test, I feel like they will be astronauts by the end of it. 14-7. 1 round for MiBR so far, but not that many more rounds they need to win, and they've got a really big buy here.
Yeah, it looks like they may be speeding up the pace as well, looking to get out of the choke point. Oh, nice nade. Great follow-up nade. My goodness, it's done massive damage to J&T and to Leo Drunky. So the start in terms of the damage exchange is really working out for MiBR, but obviously there's so much more to worry about than just that. Taka looking for the potential peak for information from the CTs, but there is not going to be one, as Sharks are playing just Lucan in the B-bomb site. He's playing very passively, so he won't be available to that position. And meanwhile, MiBR will be pushing Ivy, looking to take control of this position. And they'll also be able to combine with the ladder player. Should Fer decide to go down the ladder, there'll be a channel between that and Ivy, of course. And looks like the bomb is going to rotate. But the thing is, they've given up team main, James. They don't know whether or not the CTs have pushed it. And Fallen's alone with the bomb, so this is not very. It's a big risk for him to go through team main without any control there at all.
Exit playing by the smoke, but he may not be offered the angle he's looking for.
Are they going B? Is that the plan?
Well, the bomb's in main, so I don't think so. It's a pre-fire from Exit, but he doesn't quite land the shots on the button. Two players lost now on the A bomb site, and Fair will deliver a kill on B. And he will charge in now if they can take the B bomb site. Maybe they go B, but they're kind of taking both sites at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's one CT on both sides, so they could really go wherever they want to. But with 20 seconds, that bomb needs to start heading somewhere soon, and it will be the B bomb site with them so deep. J&T has no idea what is near him. This is just pretty damn wild. There goes J&T, and the chances maybe of winning this round may end on the wrong bomb site with 8 HP. This looks like match point for MiBR.
What a sick rotation. If you watch the radar, the minimap, whilst all of that was going on, you could see that the way the bomb was moving, there are options for the bomb to, as it continues to go towards B, to drop down ladder if there is like extreme levels of success towards A, or if there is any success towards A, but maybe they're getting shut down, it's still going to serve as a nice fake, so they can then push B with the bomb. So you just have basically every option based off of what happens. It's really cool, actually. Nice round from MiBR. It's a great way to take that 15th.
There we are, match point. An inevitable match point, I think, for MiBR. At least at this point.
What a boost.
It was a hopeful pick of Sharks, but again, Vertigo was quite a shocker in a good way, in the sense that we saw great potential from MiBR, and it looks like that Vertigo will be a lot more interesting going forward in its current iteration. Let me know your own thoughts on Twitter. But anyway, we've got a good buy here for Sharks. Again, I think MiBR, they've had a lot of fast rounds into the A bomb site. Again, you got these grenades towards that bomb train. We often see those thrown against the likes of Astralis as well. But anyway, I think it's just like very fast plays. It's going to be hard for Sharks to make the right decisions because of their experience. So it's a nice way to just make life hard for them. But they'll slow things down in this potentially last round, I should say. Still a 5 versus 5. MiBR with 2 players towards Ivy, looking to start deploying their grenades. Now, will there be a nervous rotation from Sharks, who currently have 2 players deep into the B-bomb site?
Right now they're just holding their ground, it seems, but they are a little bit weak towards the A-bomb side, given that they've got the extra player on B. MiBR, oh man, Tarkus just crept his way forwards, and he is now in a really poor position. Time to get the gun out, and he's going to be in a really solid position to just control the rotations, locking down Connector. That's so huge. And it's such a weird spot because Leo Drunky's pushed team main all the while, and the bomb is moving in as 3. And Lucan could shut this down if he's going to have a good performance here. He gets the first one. He's done fantastic damage, but it just thinks he needs the kills.
JT's got to spot the cross, he'll spot it, but he won't take out the bomb planter in Fallen. Moving through the oil position, Taco in Connector now, taking out Leo Drunky. We've got a 2 versus 3. Oh, he's missed another chance now. This is possibly the end of the line for Sharks. Had to stop the cross, wasn't able to do it. The bomb's been planted. There's no defuse kit for the remaining players. Fallen will get taken out, however, but is there a kit anywhere near the site? I don't think so, because most of the eliminations have come in on the A bomb site, so this is looking real bad. I think it might be too late here for Sharks, and Exit, can he get close enough to the bomb? Taco's on the ramp. He's got to hold it. This is the only way. I don't think he'll have the success that Taco had. He's coming off the bomb, but he can't win the round unless he defuses it. And that's going to be that. MiBR make it to 16, a 2-0 over Sharks on train. Vertigo looking real interesting as well. And again, outmatched Sharks. They did well to get to this far in the first place, but I think that's going to be that.
Yeah, they had, I think definitely, they showed some decent performances here or there, but we can see that there are holes in their game. They've been playing against some of the most experienced players in the world, actually, and it's been definitely a difficult ride, but there's so much to take away from it in terms of where they can improve and in terms of what their main sticking points are, and I think we're going to see more presence from them over the course of the coming months and years.
Yeah, I think that experience is really valuable for Sharks. I think the main takeaway for me across the whole match is really what we saw from Vertigo from MiBR. They look really strong on that. Of course, this is not their biggest test for them in terms of opponent, but the executes we're seeing, they're clearly advancing their own game, and so not just the executes onto the site and the map itself, but also how they're using Fallen and KNG. I think there's lots of positives to take away from the perspective of MiBR. And they've got some of their own data as well, with the way Sharks were able to try and come back on Vertigo to improve even further. So I think that'll be really interesting going forward, and I do wonder if they will get to squeeze in another Vertigo in this tournament.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of MiBR, I'm looking forward to seeing more performances from them. I think pretty much everybody from MiBR played really well. It was cool to see the dynamics they had on the CT side looked really strong, and Fallen's definitely got more freedom with the AWP, which is, I mean, highlights are coming, James. They're definitely coming.
Indeed, they are. And now it's a human highlight in Sue on the stage with the winners.
Thank you very much, James. Congratulations, Taco. You guys survived the elimination match against another Brazilian team in the Sharks, and it was a very solid 2-0 win. And the Sharks, in contrast to the performance we saw today, showed a very strong performance against Astralis yesterday, and especially knowing that up-and-coming Brazilian teams can be very dangerous. Did you expect today to be as straightforward as it was?
Being really honest, I really think Sharks is a really good team. They're improving really fast. They moved to NA and they qualified for the biggest leagues, which is ESL Pro League and ECS. Of course, it sucks to play another Brazilian team in an elimination match. But I mean, we were not expecting actually their Vertigo pick, and it's a map that we have been working really hard lately, and we have been getting really good results. So I don't think it was a really good pick for them, because they have really strong maps as well as Nuke, but Nuke is our veto as well, but they have Mirage, they have DAY2, they have really good maps as well that they could pick. So I think it was kind of a desperate pick. So I think it didn't work out for them, but I wish them the best, and I hope they get better results. The game against Astralis yesterday was really close, and I'm really happy for them. I think they're improving really fast, and I think in the future they have a bright future ahead.
Definitely agreed upon that. And I want to touch on Vertigo, as you lightly brought it up yourself, that it went really well for you guys. We saw KNG have a really standout performance on both halves. And speaking of KNG, I think that there were a lot of questions about, you know, how he would fit in with your roster. But as we saw on Vertigo, he popped off. So what do you think it takes for him to, you know, to set him up for the success that we saw on that map?
We knew that with time, KNG would be a much better player in our team. He was already really good in the teams that he was playing before, in INTZ actually, and we knew that he just needed time. He's still getting used to our system, to the way we like to play. He's also AWP, and he's playing with a rifle in the T side, so he had to adapt a lot of stuff. But we knew that he just needed time, and this tournament he's playing really well, and I'm really happy with his performance today. He really stepped up, and he really put the team on his back and carried that match. And on Vertigo, he played very well, and actually he's a very positive person, very positive guy. So it's really nice to play next to him. He's always trying to give this boost of energy to the team during the match. So he's stepping up this tournament, and I'm really happy for him.
That's actually amazing to hear, and hopefully that performance can continue, because up next you have a pretty difficult opponent in Fnatic, and Fnatic is a team that you're playing for the third time already in this past month, first in Starladder and of course twice here in Dallas. So facing them once again, you know, what is it like playing them with the re-addition of Flesh and Golden?
I think with our lineup and their new lineup, we have never won against Fnatic. But I mean, maybe it's time. They are a really strong team. They're top 3 in the world. I personally think they are playing really beautiful CS. They play a beautiful style. They play on using the gaps, and JW is a really good player. They have only good players, of course. And I'm really excited to play against them. I think we have a better chance this time. I think we're going to be more prepared. We knew what we did wrong in the Inferno map yesterday. So we know, actually. So let's just play and see how it goes. I'm truly confident in my team, and I think this time we're gonna win. I mean, that's the time we have to win, right? I mean, that's the game. So the last times we played against them, they didn't eliminate us. So this time is when it really matters. So I really think we can step up and win against Astralis, but we know that they are a really difficult team to play against.
Well, thank you very much, Taco, and best of luck in that decider match that will be coming up later today. But after the break, we first have another decider match to go through first. It will be the Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Evil Geniuses.